driving video today, with the exception of the I-94 video I did a couple weeks ago. This is my first little excursion I'm doing in the state of Michigan since the road trip to North and South Dakota. Can't believe it's been about a couple weeks ago since then. But we are continuing our way north on M-19. As a matter of fact, I did a video on M-19 from where it begins at I-94 all the way up to I-69. I think I did that like a couple months ago, if I remember right. But we're continuing our way all the way up through the thumb of Michigan on M-19. I'm going to be doing two separate videos. One that we're doing right now, which, as a matter of fact, we're going through the village of Emmett, which is just north of I-69, where we started our video today. And yeah, this video will be going all the way up to M-46 in Sandusky, Michigan, not to be confused with Sandusky, Ohio. And then in part 3, because keep in mind, part 1 was the stretch from I-94 to I-69. Part 3 is going to be going all the way up to to the east of Bad Axe, because M-19 goes all the way up to M-143, which runs east of Bad Axe as it heads out toward Harbor Beach. But yeah, all along M-19 it goes through many different small towns, villages, and even a couple of larger communities, including Richmond back to the south. Yeah, I think the road we just passed, that intersection, I believe that was probably what used to be the main route between Flint and Port Huron until I-69 was built. We are out in farm country right now. Like, got farms everywhere here. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. It's mostly clear skies. Got some high clouds way up to the north, but that's about it right now. And I'm filming this on a Friday because I took today off. Because it's not only that, but it's Labor Day weekend. We're here in the United States and also over in Canada, because Canada also celebrates Labor Day. It's a three-day holiday weekend for us, and Canada too. However, I took today off too, so I have a 4-day weekend. However, it's like this weekend, I was originally supposed to be going to San Diego, because if you've been following me, especially with my driving videos, I mentioned a lot about upcoming trips and different things like that. And of course, this year I've had to make so many postponements and cancellations. Like, if you remember, I was supposed to go to San Diego Easter weekend, but that was when practically everything was shut down, to where it's like, it was like back in April, it was considered taboo to even go to another part of the state of Michigan for something other than an emergency. So because of that, I moved the trip to San Diego to Labor Day weekend, which, yeah, as I'm recording this video, I technically was supposed to be in San Diego. However, because not everything is open in California, a lot of the outdoor things are, but a lot of the indoor areas are either closed or they're to very limited capacity. Where I think San Diego, restaurants are allowed to open for indoor dining again there, but I think like a 33% capacity, which is not something I want to deal with, because yeah, it's like, because restaurants would fill up really quickly that way. So it's like I didn't want to really deal with that, and it's like I'd rather go when things are a lot more open. So because of that, I completely canceled the trip altogether. So I didn't even bother postponing it this time. I just outright canceled it. So like I definitely still want to go to San Diego, and I may consider try to go maybe in November or something, but I'm not even bothering with booking flights just yet. Thankfully, I can talk. Thankfully, I cannot talk. Thankfully, there we go. I was able to get some credits from Delta. Because they're pretty generous about the cancellations right now. So that way what I can do is I can just use those credits to book a flight later. Because I'll be flying Delta regardless. So I know there's the whole controversy with flight cancellations this year to where people are wanting to get cash refunds. Which, for what I'm hearing, it's like, I'm technically entitled to a cash refund, but because I'm gonna be flying, I'd be flying with Delta, and I can just use the credits for a future flight. It's like, I really don't want to deal with having to call Delta support or Delta reservations and be on the phone or be on a wait or having to wait on a phone for like an hour or two, and then it's like it'd be one thing if I didn't fly Delta all the time and I wanted to fly a different airline like Southwest or United or something like that, but since I primarily fly Delta due to the fact I live out of Detroit, it's like it'd be easier just to take the credits. So I figure, yeah, in case I don't go in November either, it's like I figure it'd be best just to cancel the trip altogether and just book it when the time is right. Which, that time is not right now. And if I was going, I'd be going in a heat wave, because the weather is absolutely beautiful here in the thumb of Michigan. Like, it is like 20 after 9 right now, and already 26 miles to Sandusky. It is 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so just a little bit above 15 degrees Celsius. So it is a little cool out this morning. I think the high temperature is always supposed to get to the low 70s today. Or like close to like maybe 22 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a gorgeous day. Like, other than maybe some rain chances on Sunday and maybe Labor Day, it's going to be a very nice weekend. Nice and cool. We're in San Diego. Tomorrow and Sunday, it's supposed to be in the low to mid 90s Fahrenheit. In Celsius, that's a little under 35 degrees. So I think I made the right call. But yeah, what's cool about the thumb of Michigan is that, yeah, you just have these gentle rolling hills all throughout. Abundant farmland, and with the exception of maybe M-25, with that being a popular route going from Port Huron to Port Austin, it's like a lot of the highways in the thumb of Michigan are pretty light in terms of traffic. So if you're in the mood for a nice drive out in the country, but this is a very good area for that. Yeah, what's pretty cool is that at M-19 throughout the thumb, it's not perfectly north and south, like, because yeah, we're having to curve already to the west. And we'll be doing that throughout this video and even the next video. still technically have to film the conclusion of that because I wanted to film a conclusion back at home, but I've been too lazy to do that because I've been busy just getting back to work and just taking it easy a little bit, and I've been starting to edit all my road trip videos, which I still got a lot of videos I got to edit because I think I've only edited a couple videos so far, which is not even a quarter of what I filmed. Oh yeah, but now we're going back to the north again. Wait, we should momentarily be coming to Yale. Not to be confused with Yale University. Speaking of Yale University, I'm 90%, I think it's in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's New Haven, Connecticut. Which, of course, this is not Connecticut. It kind of reminds me when I did that Michigan Off the Beaten Path video when I went to two places where you would think that you're out of Michigan, but you're not. Because I went to Nashville, Michigan, and then Vermontville, Michigan. Alright, and we are now entering Yale. And compared to Emmett and Memphis, Yale is a larger community. Or it has even the city status. Oh, that's a fancy car wash. Got both the coin operating machines and also the regular car wash where you drive through and it washes your car for you. And now we're entering Yale, or the actual city of Yale. Yeah, this is a nice little city. I have never been through Yale before. Oh, and here comes the downtown area. Oh, this is a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. I've got a Little Caesars right in town. Oh, this is really nice. Maybe we have a traffic light up ahead, which we'll have to stop at. Or never mind. It's started to turn green now. Even a McDonald's and an A&W up ahead. I'd say Richmond, though, is a little larger than Yale. But yeah, Yale is definitely the largest city M-19 has gone through so far. Well, again, with the exception of Richmond. Comparing to Memphis and Emmett. And we're leaving Yale now and heading back out into the countryside. Good. And we have 20 miles to go until we get to Sandusky. film these training videos, after a while, it's like my throat can sometimes dry up, so it's always a good idea to stay hydrated. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm heading to the thumb today because I'm filming a third Michigan Off the Beaten Path video. So yeah, I even got a couple of suggestions of different towns to check out from, matter of fact, the same person who wanted to see all of M-19. So they're like, why not do all in one day? But yeah, I'm checking out 3 different towns, and we're crossing into Sandusky County. But yeah, different parts, or this part of Sandusky County is not something I've seen before. But yeah, it's a nice way to go off the beaten path even more and see some different terrain and different parts of the thumb. But yeah, with the video, it's like I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. Like, there are 3 different towns I'm gonna be checking out in the Michigan Off the Beaten Path video. But yeah, it's like with those videos, because I've done 2 so far. The first one in Concord and Homer, and then of course the second one in Nashville, Vermontville. Just talked about that a few minutes ago. I am going to be filming the third today. But I have received a lot of great feedback on those videos, and it's great to hear, or great to see, just because I really enjoyed filming those videos. Because yeah, as much as it's great when you go around the state of Michigan, or any state in the United States, or anywhere in the world, to go all to all the popular locations, like Michigan, for example. Like, everybody knows Detroit. And people even know about Lansing, just because it's the state capital. People all over know Grand Rapids, especially for all the breweries out in Grand Rapids. Which, yeah, speaking of Grand Rapids, I need to get back out there soon. And then people also know about Saginaw and Flint. Although Flint, I'd say most people know nowadays because of the whole water scandal stuff that happened a few years ago. And then, of course, all the areas that a lot of tourists go to, whether they're for like day trips for the weekend or even for a week. Like, people will know about Traverse City, or those who know like South Haven, St. Joseph, Holland, Grand Haven, Muskegon, like all the areas along Lake Michigan. And then, and of course, I did say Traverse City, right? If not, yeah, Traverse City for sure. Of course, Mackinac City, St. Ignace, Sault Ste. Marie, or even like Alpena and the Tawas area. Like a lot of the areas along the lakes are highly frequented with tourists. Even Port Austin up in the thumb is too. And then in other parts of the state too, like Frankenmuth, which is of course where I go quite a bit, at least a couple times a year. But what's cool about some of the lesser known towns in Michigan is that there are a lot of cool features with each small town. Just like I remember, yeah, I enjoy going to Nashville, Michigan, and going to that petting zoo, with also had that fresh ice cream. Like, that was really cool. And it's like, there's a lot of things that you just don't see unless you go off the beaten path. Because who knows, you might just see something even cooler than what you would see at a tourist attraction. And here is M-90. M-90 going west, that'll take you out to Brown City and back over to M-53. Which, yeah, if you're going up to Port Austin from like Metro Detroit, M-53 would be the quickest route. Just because it goes straight up through the thumb. And it ends up in Port Austin. Where M-19, of course, is a lot more scenic and a lot less traffic compared to M-53. Although it might be the better route if you're coming up from like New Baltimore, New Haven, or even Richmond. Although, of course, M25 is the most, I say the most scenic because it goes along the lake, but that's probably the busiest of the routes. If you're trying, like, this is a good route if you're trying to avoid all the crowds at M25, especially on, like, weekends. Like, I'm sure M25 is going to be pretty busy this weekend. Because Labor Day is what's considered to be the last weekend of summer. Or at least of the summer travel season. Although it's a little different this year just because of the virus outbreak. But of course that doesn't stop Michiganders from going out even to other parts of Michigan to go up to their summer or to their summer cabins or cottages up north. And different things like that. And then yeah, after this weekend, yeah, then it's like the year begins to start winding down a little bit. Because we're going to be starting to get into the fall season when, of course, here in Michigan, it's all about going to cider mills and getting ready for Halloween. I'll be curious what things are like this year, just because with Halloween, I'll be curious if kids will still go out trick-or-treating. I'll be really curious how that works this year. It's like although with the virus outbreak and the virus itself, it's like unlike the flu, kids can still get the virus, but at the same time they're pretty much free from the severe, for some of the more severe version of the disease, which the elderly typically get, where the flu is it can affect kids pretty hard too. But at the same time, oh, we gotta make a left turn to stay on M-19. As M-90 continues east. At the same time with trick-or-treating, it's although kids usually would get either be asymptomatic or just have mild symptoms, but with trick-or-treating, they could always spread it to, it's hard to say if it could spread it to adults or something. You never know. So that's where things might be a little bit more challenging or different. But again, we'll wait and see. Alright, we're going to be making a right turn to continue on M-19. Yeah, I forgot to point out, this is Peck. Peck is just a small little village that's between Sandusky and Yale. You gotta be careful. So yeah, once again, we were going west for a little bit. Alright, getting back to what I was talking about. So yeah, Halloween, I have no idea how that's going to be. I can guarantee, not guarantee, because I don't want to speak ahead on this, but yeah, it's because also Halloween's a time where people do Halloween parties, and that, on the other hand, I don't know if that'll happen this year or not. Or if they do, maybe a lot less. also, of course, the big thing about fall here in Michigan is, of course, you got popular like with bonfires and of course going to cider mills to have some fresh apple cider or even some fresh donuts, or even going on hay rides. Cider mills, of course, those will stay open. Of course, the only thing is people are going to be wearing masks, so, well, except when they're drinking some delicious apple cider. After fall, of course, then we go into Michigan winter, which I am not looking forward to, because I think what they're forecasting, they're calling it's supposed to be because with overall climate patterns, like you got like what's called El Nino and La Nina, which is like the opposite, where El Nino on average usually typically indicates a warmer winter, where La Nina here in Michigan and like the northern part of the U.S., it's typically a colder scenario. So like because of that, I can see this upcoming winter being a little bit more, I don't want to say brutal, because it may not be, but I could see it being a lot colder. So hopefully it might be, maybe I'll try to plan some trips down to the southern part of the United States again. Again, yeah, we'll wait and see, because yeah, after Christmas, because I always get off the time between Christmas and New Year's, would love to get back down to the southern part of the United States, whether it's I don't know if I would go back down to South Carolina because I just went there last year, but maybe Florida or along the Gulf Coast or something like that, South Texas, you never know. Again, we'll wait and see. That's still like, the holidays are still like 3.5 months away, so we got a ways to go. So yeah, what I'll probably will do with this video is I'll film, of course, all the way to Sandusky. I'm going to end the video once I get to M-46 in Sandusky, and then I'll continue part 3 as I leave Sandusky. St. Clair Community College, we're north of St. Clair County. I don't know, but yeah, as for the fall, it's like, yeah, try to think of different things I want to do throughout the fall. Different little day trips like this around Michigan, and sometime before the end of the year, I would like to get back out to Lake Michigan, though. So, because I've yet to go over there this year. So I know my good friend Dima, who lives in Northwest Indiana, he's been up to Southwest Michigan quite a bit this year. Like, I know he's been like to St. Joseph, to Holland, I think to South Haven and Saugatuck. So I know he and his family go up to different areas along Lake Michigan, or especially the southwest part of the state, throughout each year. So thinking about that, and then I haven't planned anything yet, but because weeks off from work the first part of October because I was originally when I was supposed to go to South Africa. So I'm thinking about doing another but larger road trip. I'd like to go somewhere out west again, but I'm still trying to iron out the details and different things like that. Because ideally, I like to go out to Utah and Arizona. Because I have not been to Utah other than Salt Lake City's airport, and I don't really count that as a stop in Utah. And then Arizona, I've only been to the Phoenix area so far, so we'd like to see some cool things out in Arizona. And who knows, maybe even get out to like to the Grand Canyon or something. Yeah, Arizona, there's a lot of natural beauty out there. Many great national parks. It's like if you're a photographer, it is a paradise out there. But yeah, so it's just trying to iron out the details and try to plan it out a little bit. But it's like with road trips, it's like there's two parts of road trips, I'd say. Like there's planning a road trip, and then you can also go on a spontaneous road trip to where you just go not plan, but you just go with the flow. But it's like with planning, it's probably like right now it's probably best to plan a road trip than do something spontaneous, just because you never know what's going to be open or not depending on where you go. Plus you want to make sure if you're trying to stay at a hotel that you're not going to come across a place that's going to be booked on reservations or something. We still got a ways to go still. This is going to be a long video. Because, yeah, I've been filming this for a good 33 minutes already, and I still got a few miles to go still. Up much at all, but it's like with that sun, it's like I'm starting to sweat. And it's like I don't want to open. I open up the window to get some fresh air, but that would really have an effect on the sound and the audio quality. So I really don't want to do that. So I pretty much have to turn on the AC. Slowly starting to come into Sandusky. We have the pole over up ahead. Got an emergency vehicle coming up. Not sure for what reason though, because I was just a police officer, but it's hard to say. Sandusky, so we just got about another mile to go in this video, and then what I'm going to be doing is, although I'm not sure it's going to go up immediately as the next video or not, I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to be filming part 3 right after this, so that way I'll have to make another trip back up here. kind of did the same thing with that M-29 video I did back in March. And we are now entering Sandusky. So what's going to happen is at the intersection where I'm ending the video, M-19 continues its way west, and it runs along with M-46. Which M-46 will continue west, going over towards Saginaw, it even goes a few miles north of Frankenmuth, and then M-46 East takes you out to Port Sanilac. Alright, we should be almost into downtown Sandusky, and we'll continue in part 3. So I hope you enjoyed part 2 of M-19, going from I-69 near Emmett all the way up to M-46 here in downtown Sandusky. Oh, this is a nice little city. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman, signing out from Sandusky.